The North Face Kaban Rucksack is a mid-size, minimal everyday carry bag suitable for professional use and those of you who are weekend warriors. Hi guys, my name is Isaac, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, but today I'd like to discuss a bag that I've owned for a few months, and that is this one here called the North Face Kaban Rucksack. My previous backpack was supplied to me by my work, and it was a bog standard laptop backpack. It recently broke, so I was on the hunt for a new bag. A lot of times I've been looking around, and a lot of the bags are circa $300, and when you import them from the States it comes to about 300 euros, so it's a bit out of my price range. This bag cost me 80 euros, so it's a much cheaper option for me. Let's go over the materials and some of the aesthetic design choices that the North Face have made on this backpack. The dimensions are about 50 centimeters by 30 centimeters by 15 centimeters, and the weight is just over 1 kilo. The place of manufacture is Vietnam, and it can quite comfortably hold up to a 15-inch laptop. The material itself is a 900D polyester PVC coated fabric, which is very similar to that of the North Face's own Basecamp duffel bag. The material itself is very weather resistant. I've taken this bag out in the rain, in the snow, it's been covered in mud and salt, and all of this dirt tends to just wipe straight off, so I'm very happy about that. One thing, however, is you might be able to just about see it, is some of the more abrasive materials, such as gravel, from when a certain time that I put it on a gravel path, they've left some white marks on it. Now, usually these could be just removed with a bit of elbow grease, but I haven't managed to get it off just yet. As far as branding on the front, you can see it just about in this top left-hand corner, top right-hand corner for you, and that is a black on black North Face logo. And then again on the bottom outer edge of the bag, you can see the Kaban logo here. Turning the bag around, you can just about see the North Face branding on the shoulder strap. So, all in all, quite a minimal looking bag. The hardware in terms of the zips are made by a company called YKK, which is a very popular brand. The zips themselves are quite robust, as you can see here. Each of the pull tabs is made of metal themselves as well. Because the pull tabs themselves are not made by the common materials such as rubber or the paracord, they tend to hit each other or hit any of the zip lines, and therefore they jingle. So I don't know if you can hear this. They're a bit louder than normal. All in all, the North Face chose to keep this bag quite minimal and quite matte black, which is something that I like and what drew me to its aesthetic in the first place, because I was looking for a bag that could carry my things to the office without looking out of place, but then also double up as a bag to take on for weekend adventures or just to see some friends. So in terms of the material design choice, perfect for me. With this being a 26-litre rucksack, the shoulder pads had to be quite dense. Unfortunately, they don't have any mesh or any airflow systems in them, so that's something that could be a problem further down the line, but I haven't experienced anything just yet. The material itself is quite thick, and the straps themselves are quite ergonomically cut, so they don't pinch on your body when you're wandering around. There is on the shoulder straps a sternum strap, which again, as I mentioned before, is made by a company called Nifco, and the webbing itself is quite thin. I personally don't use sternum straps on bags, never have, but if you're one who is interested in using that, you'd be glad to know that this is included. The strap itself is located on a rail, so you can, with a bit of effort, move it up and down to fit your frame perfectly. Moving on to the back panel, I'll just get the shoulder straps out of the way. The North Face chose again to keep the black aesthetic, and they chose to have a very stiff molded back panel, which you can see here. It, again, similar to the straps, does not have any airflow or mesh, and with it being quite stiff, you do feel it on your back. That's not a negative, it feels very close, but I'm sure in the summer months that I might actually suffer from some sweaty back syndrome. Another positive of the frame sheet of the back is that it's quite stiff, which means that the bag does not collapse in on itself when not loaded. The bottom of the bag, as you might be able to see, does not have any of this sheeting material, so when it's being put on the floor, the bag tends to just fall straight on its face. There are also two water bottle pockets on the outside of the bag, which look great. They are cut minimally. They blend in with the bag when not in use, as you might be able to see here. However, they lack stretch, which is a little bit of a problem when you use a bigger 1 liter water bottle or even a skinnier bottle than the one I've got here. One thing to note is that the water bottles are not external to the bag, so when they have both full, then they eat into the space of the bag itself. So if you're planning on loading this bag up to the brim, keep that in mind when using hard water bottles. Additionally, at the bottom, there is a loop for a bicycle light. I haven't used this just yet, but it serves its purpose, provided you can get a bike light through that. Okay, so with the exterior components out of the way, we can now talk about the pockets and the organization of the bag. I'll start from this side and move my way backwards just to make it easier for you all to see what I'm doing, and hopefully you'll get a good understanding of what the bag is. On the very front, keeping with that minimal aesthetic, there's no organization here. What there is on the right-hand side of the bag for you, the viewer, there is a vertical pocket which opens with a zip pull and reveals a small vertical slit which you can store, for example, a notebook or a thin jacket or some chocolate bars, etc. One thing you'll notice is something that I'm particularly fond of in this bag, and that's the very bright lining. None of my previous bags had this, and when I was looking at online at all the new bags that kept coming out, they all mentioned how great this was. I never really truly believed them. So if you're like me and you had a bit of doubt, take my word for it that this bright lining really helps. If not for just the visibility, but also partly to the design. There's something nice about having a flash of little bits of color in this bag. So as I mentioned, this vertical pocket is right in the front of the bag, so whatever you put in there, the outline will be visible. There is no organization. I know you probably can't see too deeply in there, so whatever you put in that pocket will just slide straight down to the bottom. We can go on to some little pops of color that you might have noticed, and on each corner of the bag, there are some D-ring hoops for your hero clips or your D-rings to attach whatever you want. One thing I have to point out is because all of the hardware is black and pretty much the same color as the front of the bag, the zips kind of get lost and you might struggle to find which zip is for which pocket, but we'll do our best. So if I grab one of the zips here, hopefully it'll open up, and we'll try to open the top quick access pocket. What you'll notice is on one side, the pocket opens to this corner here, whilst on the other side, it opens a bit further down, allowing for better access. So what happens there is that this front pocket can flip all the way down. Now, to go through it quickly, there's enough space in the front for a book. And then you'll notice that you have a mesh zipped pocket here, some more mesh here, and some pen organization here. We'll start here. So this zip mesh pocket is see-through mesh, and in here I basically just carry, little knickknacks. So my inhaler, my charging cable, and there's quite a bit of dimension here, so you can really pack this out with whatever you want. Further down here, there's nothing, so that's good if you really don't care too much. Here, this is just an empty space where you can put whatever you want, so more chocolate bars, another book, whatever. Moving up, you'll notice that there are some pens, so I have a toothbrush for when I'm staying late in the office, a pen, always need a pen. I also have a, stain removing pen, so there you go. What you'll notice here, however, is this pull tab. So if we give this a tug, you'll notice that there's a power bank and it fits perfectly. So you pull it up and out comes your power bank. Behind that, there is a felt lined pocket, which I just keep an iPad in. Above the iPad pocket, there are another two mesh pockets, which are separated, and they don't have a zip, but they have this quite nice flip pouch system, and each pocket is fleece lined, as you can see. They have quite a bit of dimension, as you can see by my hand. So again, you could put perhaps some more bulky items. In this one, I have kept a pair of headphones. So these are the Jaybird Vista headphones, and you can watch a review on my channel about these as well. That's really it for the front of the quick access pocket. So I'll zip that back up now. And we'll move on to the main pocket once I find the zip. So the main pocket flips down like that, so it's not a clamshell opening, it's more like a horseshoe opening, a U, and it's big enough for whatever you really need. You know, if you're taking lunch to work and you want to carry your cables and your headphones, that's not a problem. If you want to carry some clothes for the weekend, also not a problem. So in here we have a headphone case, which is empty. Oops. Some cable pouches. We have a dop kit, and that's about it. But like I said, maybe you can see that the orange lining makes it really easy to see what's inside, so real big benefit there. So then finally we're on to the laptop compartment. Now the laptop compartment is again separate to the main pouch, and it rests against the back rigid frame sheet and unlocks from here. So there's a zip that goes all the way down, and then the laptop compartment opens like this, again with the orange liner. Like the quick access pocket, this also has one of those little pull tab systems. So if I was to pull this handle, my laptop gets raised out and you can quite easily grab it. If I'm honest with you, I don't really use that because I find this to be just as easy. One thing to note about the laptop compartment is that it's not raised off the bottom of the bag. So if you were to drop this bag on a hard surface, there is a risk that your laptop does get damaged, which is, I personally think, a major flaw in this bag. But you can fix it by perhaps keeping a t-shirt underneath the bottom, which you never take out, or even packing it with the little disposable tissue packets. Food for thought. In summary, what are my thoughts on the North Face Kaban Rucksack? Well, I've had it for a few months now, and during that time, it's been a real pleasure to use. Anything that I've thrown at it, it's handled with ease. It can quite easily pack enough clothes for a long weekend away. It can carry my lunch and all of my tech equipment to the office, and it looks smart doing so. The aesthetic design choices that the North Face made really stood out to me, and I really appreciate the matte back look with the slight pops of color of orange on the outside and the bright interior lining of the inside. That said, there are a few small minor issues that I think the North Face could really change in the next iteration, one being the jingly zipper and then the non-raised laptop compartment. In addition, it could also look at changing the water bottle pockets to being expandable or via a gusset, who knows. And then also, if you're planning on using this in the forest or outdoorsing, then you might struggle with the TPE layer on the front of the bag, as it marks quite easily. I have no problem recommending this bag to you, especially if you can get it for under 100 euros. I think it's a bargain at that price. I hope to have it for many years to come, and I might even do a longer term review of the bag as well. With that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this video and this quick review of the North Face Kaban Rucksack, and please stay tuned for more reviews coming in the future. Baba booey, baba booey, baba booey.